Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to take things a little bit more serious on this channel. Usually I try and release as much fun, kind-hearted content as I can, whether it's jersey concepts or logo rankings or whatever, and save the really serious talk for the Post to Post podcast, which happens coming up every single Sunday now that we're coming back into hockey. There's a separate channel for that. If you're not aware, it's linked down below in the description. But this is big news because we're coming up on the start of the play-in rounds, and we need to get serious about this. We need to talk about every series and who's going to win and who's going to lose, and give some less than accurate predictions. And I think that is a broad statement for really everyone because there are so many uncertainties at this point that I don't think anyone can give a concrete prediction with normal accuracy in a normal year. So we're going to do our best. We're going to kind of break down everything a little bit in this video. I'm going to try not to make it too long. I want to kind of get right to the point and just give you the business. So what I've done is created a bit of a formula, and it's it's not complicated at all. So I'm just going to run through kind of the categories that I have here. So I picked these categories and I gave a winner for every single category, and I'll give you some reasons why. And at the end, once you've heard all that, I'll tell you what I think this formula means and who's going to win and how many games. So here are the categories. So I've got season. So this category is just kind of based on the season that just took place. Which team had a better season? It's pretty obvious. Power play, penalty kill, offense, defense, middle, so up the middle, who has the best centerman, wingers, defensemen, goaltending, pressure, who has the most pressure on their shoulders to kind of succeed this year, experience, leadership, coaching, chemistry, and history. And by history, I mean the history between the two teams head-to-head as they've played each other in the past 10 or 15 years, who's come out victorious more often than not. So let's start off with the top of that list. That's season. So clearly Pittsburgh is the better team this season. So nod to Pittsburgh. Power play, that also is a nod to Pittsburgh. They get the win there. Penalty kill, Pittsburgh again. Offense, I mean, I don't even know if it's arguable that Pittsburgh has a better offense than Montreal. Defense, I gave a split here. I think Pittsburgh has more defensively responsible players, but I think generally the Canadiens play a more structured defensive game, although they're not always very good at it, unfortunately. So I gave a bit of a split there. Could really change by game to game. Up the middle, it's 100% Pittsburgh. It's not even close. Montreal cannot compete with Pittsburgh in the middle of the ice. Wingers, I gave this a split. If anything, that is one of Montreal's strong suits. They do have some pretty strong and talented wingers, so that's a split. On the back end, the defense, I struggled with this one. I think this kind of changes game to game as well. Montreal does have a lot of talent on the blue line, but so does Pittsburgh as well. So I give this one a split, but you could probably argue me, or you could probably sway me with your argument either way. Goaltending, I give this to Montreal. It's the carry price factor. You never know which carry price you're going to get, and if you get the carry price you want as a Canadiens fan, it's going to be a good series. Pressure. I gave the nod here to Montreal. I think Pittsburgh has more pressure on their shoulders because of what happened last year, because of the aging core of the team, and some people might think that there's really not that much time left. And Montreal just kind of snuck in, right? There's not really any expectations, I guess, for the team this year, other than, you know what, they got in, that's cool, let's watch and see what happens. That's really it. I don't think the majority of Montreal Canadiens fans are going to be crying or super upset that they don't make it far. They expect the team to really go out in the first round. So I think there's more pressure on Pittsburgh's shoulders, so Montreal gets that win. Experience, definitely Pittsburgh. Look at their recent playoff experience just by itself in the past 10 years. Pittsburgh's probably played more playoff games in the past 10 years than Montreal's played regular season games in the past year. Leadership, I gave this to Pittsburgh as well. They have a very strong, long-lasting core on the team that's been there like more than a decade for some of the players. Obviously, Crosby, Malkin, Letang. So that's definitely Pittsburgh in that category. Coaching, this one's probably arguable, but I gave it to Pittsburgh. I think Sullivan is one of the best coaches in the NHL entirely. I don't know if he does a good job all the time, but I really like his coaching style. He's very calm, but when he gets upset, he gets really upset, and it's usually completely justified. So I gave that one to Pittsburgh. Chemistry, I gave that to Pittsburgh as well. just based on the experience factor of they've been playing together forever and using a lot of the same line combinations, other than throwing a different person with Crosby throughout the years. But chemistry, 100% Pittsburgh. And the last one, history. This is also Pittsburgh here. Pittsburgh has just gotten the better. Like in the past 15 or 10 years, Pittsburgh's just gotten the better of Montreal. Doesn't matter if it's in the playoffs. Well, actually, Montreal did beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs in 2010, but that's really Montreal's only success against Pittsburgh, and it took them 7 games to do it. So if we count these up, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for Pittsburgh. 1, 2 from Montreal. And then 3 splits. So what does this mean? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing, okay? There's not a single thing that I even talked about in the last 4.5 minutes that means anything. You want to know why? Because we're in a completely new situation where anything could happen. Someone could get COVID in one of the teams and then not play. What if Crosby and Malcolm both got it? Or, what if Carey Price got it? We have no idea what's going to happen. So I don't think any of that matters. I don't think the regular season that just passed matters. I don't think, really, if I put history on here between the two teams, I don't even really think that matters. I just wanted to add something, basically. So really, I think this is just a shot in the dark. And I think every team's in the same situation. And I'll continue to say this in these series previews. I'll continue to break them down the way I do, because there are definitely some important parts. But overall, this is very difficult to predict. If Montreal wins this series, I'm not really going to be surprised, but I would never predicted it. I think Pittsburgh wins this series. As a Canadiens fan, that's obviously not what I want to happen. I want Montreal to win, and I want Montreal to sweep them, to be completely honest. I know that's not going to happen, okay? I know. But realistically, objectively, just as a hockey fan and not a Canadiens fan, Pittsburgh wins this series, and I think they probably do it in 5 games. I don't think... I don't know. Maybe it is 4. Maybe it is 4. I think Montreal can sneak a game. I think they probably can sneak at least a game. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. But it's tough. I would have rather Montreal matched up against... I don't really want to pick. That's the thing about it. There's so many uncertainties. But for Montreal to win, it's not going to be because Montreal played well. It's going to be because Pittsburgh played poorly. Even if Pittsburgh plays average and Montreal plays good, I still think Pittsburgh probably wins. But anyways, I'm just excited for hockey to be back. As a Canadiens fan, I really don't even care if they lose, because they've got that potentially golden ticket of a 12.5%. So I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm actually more excited about that than them winning the cup. So I'm kind of almost rooting for them to lose, which is really the wrong mentality to have. And honestly, that is not really my mentality. Obviously, I want them to win, but in the back of my head, I'm definitely thinking, okay, well, if they lose, there's always a possibility for a win. That makes sense. So anyways, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who is going to win the series and in how many games? I want your official strict prediction here down in the comment section, because I'm going to look back at these comments after the series is over and see who was wrong and see who was right. So there's a lot in the line here, but not really, because it's so hard to predict. So anyways, thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you want to see my upcoming series previews of the rest of the series coming in the East and the West, I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button down below. And if you are already subscribed, or if you're a new subscriber, if you hit that little bell icon down there and select all notifications, that way you're just notified at exactly when I upload. You'll be able to catch the video. So thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.